beautiful.
Fresh fish.
Oh, that's Seaman. That's classic. That's classic.
Sure thing. Yeah, I'm the law boy. I started with Payday the heist very briefly, but really I was a Payday 2 man at launch in the beta and things. So since 2013, started the channel with Mask of the Day, and then over the last, I don't know, 7 8 years, I've sort of grown into just focusing on the lore and builds and things, getting my builds ripped into by much better players and things like that. And I'm still covering the same things with Payday 3 since that launch. So new lore stuff, even though it's being told a little differently. So yeah, that's my history, and that's what I do. But mine is. That's all right. I'm the new lead host. Step down.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. We're learning. We're growing. Okay, so uh, go to your close out of the advanced audio settings, and then in the mixer, do you have press the gear in the mixer? No, up, up, up. There you go. Okay, so that's where you were. Um, how do you not have your microphone on this scene? Um, I mean, okay, is it on your gaming scene? Is all the audio does all the audio work there though? Okay, so click over to that. And then oh god, I can't see anything now. Um, can you just add a new source over there to
to fix my mic over here on this one as well.
oh my god.
All right. Once again, dumpster fire. 1 second. We'll get that quickly fixed.
When I saw that you were doing this live, I was like, wow, it couldn't be me.
I thought I got everything fucking ready beforehand. I was wrong. I'm so sorry.
We just take it from the top. This was just a dress rehearsal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good job we didn't have any big guests in the waiting.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my god.
Oh, Lord. All right, we'll do this once again. Guys, welcome back after 9 years. Welcome back to the Safehouse Podcast. It's great to be back. Of course, I'm joined with Noli and Sea-Dog. I believe y'all heard Noli's introduction. I believe so. You should have. It was getting picked up. And Sea-Dog, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. I just kind of stream sometimes when I feel like it. I'm cripplingly addicted to Payday, and so it's usually that. But that's really it. That's like my whole thing. I don't do a whole lot of anything else.
So fair enough. And myself, of course, I've been playing since Payday the Heist, brief on and off with Payday 2, and I'm happy to get involved with Payday 3, of course. But yeah, oh shit, a nitro pop up.
Just move your mouse. Just move your mouse.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah,
You can even make this window full screen if you want. Just the little.
it is
thing
full
bottom
screen.
right.
That's
No,
the
no,
that's
no,
the
no.
kicker.
The bottom right. You can make it bigger. Just yeah.
We're learning on the go,
It's okay. It's okay.
and
this is just, I'm just sitting here. I'm just gonna smile.
we're trial by fire, my friend. That's the motto. And of course, it's been 9 years since the last episode, and there's a lot of Payday to talk about, but we do want to keep it recent. Just recently, Starbreeze announced that there's going to be a new update, and did one of y'all two want to lead with it?
Yeah, sure. I thought we were going to talk about Crime Fest 2015, so this is a huge curveball for me. But yeah, we actually have Update 2 confirmed to be somewhere on its way. We don't know exactly when, but we do know a lot of the content that's coming in it, and it seems pretty exciting. It seems to include 2 not brand new heists, as well as a change to the XP system and new animations. That's actually the part I'm most excited for, because I was fed up of interacting with things but not really interacting with things. Anything else I missed?
I think that's most of the big stuff.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm really excited for that animations. Elizabeth, she mentioned like, oh, you can see yourself bagging this shit, and I was sold. Oh, thank God.
Watching him use the key card, I was like, oh, we're done. This is
Oh,
so good.
This is
And
it.
the inspect the gun, which I have been hoping for since launch.
Yeah, that's nice. It was kind of weird to have the ability to put little shit on stickers and charms, and you can't even examine the shit. So kind of a waste. But glad to see that that's getting changed. One sec. Let me turn you guys up a little bit. We're having a bit of difficulty hearing you.
I can just yell.
I'm also quite a long way away from my mic, but
There we
I'm
go.
limited. Welcome to my bedroom, everybody.
As you can see, this is where the lore magic happens.
It isn't actually. This is like old bedroom, but yeah, it's one of the lore stations, we call them.
Oh. Exciting.
So
Yeah.
there's there's a shit ton of heists they could have chose from. Are y'all particularly happy with essentially the reimagining of Murky Station and shit? What was it? Cook-Off.
I think Murky Station was a super bold call, but legitimately one of the best ideas they could have. I think, because it's not like it's not on the iconic status, but most people really like that heist. They just haven't necessarily played it a ton, which means that you can reimagine it and you can change a bunch of things, and people won't be really mad. So I think instead of taking on something that would be in that like iconic territory, like a big bank, a First World Bank, or a what else would you say is in that like absolute top tier, you can't change kind of thing. It was some of the old classics.
Like the
Yeah,
diamond heist.
I would
Yeah.
say basically the classics, like Heat Street.
Yeah.
Those giant set pieces, they're just iconic at this point.
And they're hard to touch, right? They're hard to try
Yeah.
and reimagine. So I think that Murky Station in particular was a crazy good idea, and I also think that people were hungry for more of that cook-off style of gameplay, and it suits. I know we're getting some changes to progression and leveling, but it seriously suits the new weapon challenge progression because those longer heists are built around that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a huge Murky Station fan. It was very it was a very high play for me towards the end of my infamy grinding. Just because
Super XP efficient.
it's very XP efficient and you can do it very fast and very easily. So I love it. I'm a big Murky fan. I don't love Cook-Off though. That's the only thing. It's iconic for the Payday community. You know, everybody loves Cook-Off. It's not my cup of tea, but I think it's good to have something for different sets of people that I feel like weren't super represented in the launch heists. Like, there's no stealth only heist which I don't know if Murky Station is gonna stay stealth only or
Yes.
anything. We have to see when it comes out. But I think that they had a loud only heist, and I think it didn't make sense that they didn't have like a stealth only heist. I do think though, Shadow Raid is iconic, which ties with you saying that Murky Station is a bold choice when they could have done a different stealth only heist. But I love Murky Station, so I'm here for it. You will not see me on Cook Off though.
Fair enough.
Would you have preferred rats?
No.
So that's one thing I was gonna bring up is that personally I'm not a big cook-off fan, but I fucking love rats. I'm all for those. I understand the multi-day thing's gone, but I was all for the fencing and then the aftermath. I love that. But I'm just happy to get more content, and like you said, longer heists. We can fucking do the weapon grinding and I believe Elizabeth also said that with the mechanics, they are going to stay the same. So Murky Station is going to be stealth only. Or Cook Off is going to be loud only.
Yeah, and that seemed to be the case from all the sort of like trailer type footage that was shown as well. So that seemed to be the clear approach, which is interesting because I wondered when I first, because I actually wasn't super pro adding back classics, certainly not this early. But I think it makes sense now. I think just getting some things that people know they like is a good move. But my like number one concern is that we just end up playing through the same things again and again. Whereas I wanted to see like a first world bank where we weren't necessarily hitting the first world bank. It was just there.
It just existed, therefore, know, we had to steal from it.
Oh, but that's the homage, right? Not necessarily a remake. It's like nostalgia people. Like I don't want them to lean on nostalgia too heavily.
Yeah, but unlike the previous two games, they actually have like a story to tell. And so while it is nice to have like a touch up of the past, I would really also like to see some progressive storytelling and heists that would reflect that as well.
Someone say story.
Oh no, he's been activated.
Speaking of which, go watch Noli's new story video, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to mention it, but you can. That is a spot-on segue to my main man, Ian Russell Locke, who's returning.
Yes.
Some new story, some new narrative. Happy to see that.
I love Locke. I'm Locke's #1 fan. I love him. I'm so happy he's back. I kind of thought he was going to come back. When he changed his Twitter handle to @LockePayday, I was like, okay. You're in the third game. Why are you doing this, buddy? What are you doing here? And so I was like, God, I hope he comes back. Since then, I've seen it. And he, like, if he had just changed it and, like, didn't say anything, I probably wouldn't have noticed. But he was like, I'm now Locke Payday. I was like, okay, I'm here for it. But I'm very excited to see him back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Even more so to see how the assassination attempt like panned out. He's still alive. Obviously, it looks a little bit worse for wear, but I'm excited to see Locke back. I mean, Ian Russell, he's a genuine guy. The community fucking loves him. I mean, you can't do wrong by bringing him back.
Yeah, it was an easy win, right?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting you mentioned like the assassination attempt because we got mention of that, right, narratively with the characters, the returning five, but we never really saw what had happened or if anyone had any success. And it looks like whoever got the lot like did at least half the job. So that's something I'm really excited to see. I want more context around like what happened there.
True, and even more interesting that like Locke, he got affected. Someone went after him, but it seems like nobody went after the Butcher or Shayu at that. It may just be like who they represent or what organization they're a part of, but it's kind of interesting how they're going after basically select members, and as well as contractors.
Vlad was the one that I was surprised.
Yeah,
rocks up. But I think if you consider the Payday gang all the characters that they stole pardons for, bearing in mind that is apparently canon in some way. I don't know, they're all over the place there. But Locke was one of the people they stole pardons for, so he is like core gang in the way Bane was, and now Shade is. So I can see why he would be a target.
Fair enough.
And we touched on like another big part of that update just a second ago as well when I was talking about the weapon challenges. But huge progression changes by the sounds of it, like massive compared to what we had. Just some sort of reward for completing each heist is gonna feel so much better.
True. But
sounds like you're not sure.
So like I was kind of like, I'm a bit on the fence, because at first I was like, oh fuck, it does suck, the progression, especially once you hit high level, it's slow. But I can kind of see where Starbreeze is getting at. If you look at Payday the Heist, how did you level up? You pick shit up, and you leveled up. But people abuse that to no end. You do overdrill a couple times, you hit max level, you don't know fuck all about the game. Payday 2, I mean, yeah, there's a bit more variety. There's a lot of XP bonuses you could bounce off of. But what's one thing people love to do? Well, cheaters love to do. Spam fucking backs. You abuse that XP. But with the third go around, it seems like they're trying to combat that in a new way. And by the time you hit high level, you know how to play the game. You know the person should know how to play the fucking game. But I think that's just their way to trying to combat that. But it is nice to not see no progression whenever you finish. It would be nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's about the feedback loop, in my opinion. And I think actually the new system, I remember I was streaming on like early access release, and I was like, dude, this is great. I'm enjoying this. And I'd done like 50 levels. And honestly, it was after that, suddenly the fatigue hits. Suddenly you're not leveling up for doing the things that you feel like you should be leveling up.
Yeah.
And I think now just having a system that augments that is a good approach. But you're probably right, and people will probably go back just to spamming the same thing over and over again.
And I think that also, like, if there was a way to see your challenges better, it wouldn't be so fatiguing. Like, having to hunt through the challenges and be like, okay, well, what am I close to that I can do 1 or 2 heists to finish off these challenges? Which, like, I love Payday. But come on, what is the challenge menu, please?
Yeah.
I get it, I do, but it's not the design choice I would have done, which I'm not a game developer, so that's fine. But I think that if that also had been better designed for the challenge hunting, I think that we wouldn't have been, because I also felt the fatigue by like 70. I was like, oh god, I'm not getting anything. I was on sky high when I was getting like 6 challenges in one heist. I was like, hell yeah, this game fucks. And then I was getting none. I was like, damn, okay. But I think that if the challenge system, like visually, was a little better, it wouldn't have been so tiresome to find them and do them. But I do think that the infamy points after the heist are going to be great, because it was, the way that I described it when people would ask me about it is, I thought it was really disheartening to finish a heist and not get anything. I mean, I say not get anything, and then people go, well, you get money. I'm like, yeah, okay, I have $100 million. What's 500K more? Like, it's not the same. And so I think that it will be, at least for me, a big morale boost to get a little crumb of serotonin after every heist. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and that seems to be the new design decision, right? I mean, this is I don't think it's a secret that they're not super happy with their challenge menu either. I don't think you have to beat around the bush there.
Yeah, I mean, even in Payday the Heist, the challenge, like, it was way easier to navigate. It's just thrown together. It's a real pain to sift through. I mean, if it was organized level by level or by type of weapon or just something.
Or search bar. Just let us put, like...
Fuck, yeah, I'll take that.
I've been pretty anti-mod for Payday 3 so far. I just kind of want to see how the game plays on its own without adding anything to it. But I have succumbed, and it's not a mod, it's just an external program, but, like, I have a challenge tracker for my own sanity's sake. Like, my god. and it works great. It's so nice. I love it. I can filter by everything, but like if that gets into the game, I'm a happy camper. That's all I'm saying. If I can look at my challenges in a better way, oh boy, it's over.
I think if I was going to develop the system even beyond where it's at currently, I mean, we'll have to see how that goes, right? We'll have to see how that post heist flat IP value works, and if it is satisfying. I would, and this is secret inside the partner chat list. I was saying that I think that the no leaks. This is just what I was saying. Sorry, everyone.
I'm waiting to take notes.
I feel chat just getting
I was saying that I think instead of the heist completion challenges going to stupid numbers that no one really wants to chase down, it should have been weapon kill numbers. And that way, if you wanted to just be a Reinfeld only user, you'd still be getting challenges and rewards as you kept using that weapon again and again. Because it's locked off at 1,000, you feel so discouraged to keep using what you're enjoying. And so that makes playing the heist over and over again, which you have to do for those challenges, less fun. Whereas if there were fewer heist repetitions, but more weapon repetitions, I think you'd be getting more of that link between the gameplay and the progression.
And also, I guess that would help with guns that you don't want to use. Like, here I am. I have 40 kills on my R900, and I am hating everything. Everything sucks. I hate this gun. I don't want to use it. But I need 960 more kills with it, so I have it on every build because I'm like, well, if I get 4 kills, that's 4 I could have not gotten. And it's like, I would much rather use literally any other gun in the game. But I think that would have been cool.
Yeah, I mean, just wait till you have to do the 50-meter ones as well with the.
I really hate the R9. That fuck, man.
I would please like to not. 50-meter kills. I'm like sitting on top of No Rest for the Wicked, like, okay, you fucker, show up. I've got my little ping. It says 53 meters. I'm like, this doesn't fucking count. And then I cut to my little thing that tracks the challenge. I'm like, it better have gone up. And if it didn't, oh boy.
We don't even have like rangefinders, do we? So we have to do it that way. That's a weird challenge. I don't know who balanced that one.
But there was something that you brought up, Noli, about you know, like with the weapon challenges and wanting to use your favorite weapon. And I think that's one thing that Payday the Heist kind of did well is like you didn't really feel that. At least for me, I didn't feel that fatigue. You only had 9 some odd levels, but I'm all for running them through one at a time, you know, constantly. And I can use whatever fucking loadout I want. There's no pressure. I'm not trying to focus on challenge. I just get to enjoy the game. But now, with the challenges, I really do feel that fucking fatigue and just having to, I gotta switch weapons. I gotta use shit I don't like. I don't want to. I'm stuck at being at this level. It's just. Ugh.
And I mean, the way I did it is I just raced weapon. I mean. Big bathroom aficionado here. I just sat there grinding those levels, and that's how I hit 100 quickly. It's one of the best ways to get to 100. Not the best.
The
way
weapons,
to get to 150, because you run out of challenges. I've got none left. I just have to keep running heists now, and so I guess you can say I'm free and I can use whatever I want to. But I do enjoy that connection of I'm getting something from using this particular weapon. In fact, the only weapon challenge I'm missing is the 400 raid, like 50-meter. Reinfeld kills, so.
Oh god.
I do like that you can, like, it forces you to use other guns, because I'm one of those people that's like, oh, I like this gun. I will only use this gun. Please, only this gun. Like, you should see my Payday 2 builds. Disgusting. It's just, everything's an anarchist Lion's Roar build. It just, I love it. I can't do anything else. It's just disgusting. But, so, like, this forced me to use other guns. I'm like, damn, okay. And so I tried the Ziv. I was like, not for me. Whatever.
Sorry for your loss.
Ziv fanboys, be gone. It's not for me. But then I was like, okay, well the Ziv sucked. I didn't like that. So I'll just save every SMG until the end. So I just finished the PC9, the Ziv, and whatever. I did the Ziv first, because get that out of there. But I am now PC9 #1 fan. I loved the AK as soon as I got to it. It's over. My relationship with the AK is over. I'm a PC9 bestie now. But like, so I wouldn't have known. I would have been like, every SMG sucks. The Ziv sucked. Every SMG sucks. But it forced me to play with him, and I was like, okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Am I having character development? Is my opinion changing? Oh no. Payday, what are you doing to me?
I think my argument would be that like it shouldn't force you; it should just encourage you. But maybe some people need extra pushing.
But I need to be just pushed off a cliff.
Same here. Like with certain weapons, like my progression slowed it so down. I'd be like, oh fuck, I got to use the 900. Oh shit, I got to use the Ziv. I got to use the piece of shit, fucking SMGs. Dump 2 mags in somebody to kill them.
Yeah. It's yeah.
I dread it.
Long story short is like progression's a little bit weird, but there's some good stuff. It's just how do we hang on to that good stuff?
And how do we change the bad stuff only?
Yeah, because I do know, I would actually hazard a guess that the progression is what has resulted in the most people dropping off from over the first 2 months.
Oh yeah,
that's fair.
So than the lack of maps or lack of weapons, I would say it's the lack of satisfaction. Because we look at Payday the Heist and we look at Payday 2, and people did actually hang around for longer in more numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely,
guys.
Chop. But you know, Payday, it's had a wide fucking variety of weapons over the years. Is there something that you wish they'd make like a return, or maybe Gage would bring back, or?
Everyone's been saying LMGs in my chats.
No,
Overkill weapon?
Anything else?
That's not a bad idea.
I'd like, if for an overkill weapon, I'd pick. LMG is fine, but I just need something else than the 2 that we have right now. I'm tired of them.
Well, I mean, one thing I maybe might like to see would be it might count as an overkill weapon, but some sort of like EOD suit or ICTV armor. That'd be nice as like an overkill drop.
Oh, I see. My idea behind overkill weapons is that they will always be aggressive, but having a defensive option is kind of sick.
I mean, cool. Armor is king in the third game, so I mean.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
I hadn't considered that, yeah.
I was always like, melee weapons could be like a massive thing to smack cops with, but you're like, no, actually, here's a tactical application. Drop some, like, because that's a good way to use what is like a missing playstyle. Not that armor is a missing playstyle, but like a big ICTV classic armor setup is just completely missing, isn't it? So that would be a good way to put it in.
That would be cool. I hadn't considered that at all. I was like, haha, flamethrower. Very cool.
That's not a bad idea of a potential thing like that. I mean, it could stun. That's a pretty big big choice.
It's funny you say that because I was making a video about, you know, missing features, things people would like to see back, and I put out a post asking people what they were missing, and Mio, lead game designer, was like, Dragon's Breath. I want Dragon's Breath.
Dragon's Breath, my beloved.
Different shotgun ammo types, things like that would be cool. Because then you can kind of add multiple weapons in one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you think was the most impactful DLC in Payday 2? We've not
impactful.
One, right?
Yeah, no, we haven't prepped that at all. Jesus, impactful DLC.
I'm immediately forgetting every DLC that exists.
I know, and I'm trying to actually make like a Payday 2 review video, and I'm going through all the fucking updates, and someone in chat said courier pack. Oh hell no.
Yeah, Gage courier pack. That's my answer. That's my
like,
answer. That's the most impactful DLC.
It's a great DLC, but I never see myself using the mods. I only collect the shit for the XP.
Dude, I collect them because I have like 400 scopes. You need one? I got my trench coat out. I've just got all of them. I'm such a menace for the Gauge packages. Oh my god, I love them. Just
there's value in
them
having
is fun.
collectibles, right?
Yeah.
That's true, but I'd say maybe the first Gauge weapon pack when it introduced throwables, you know, I believe that was also a quality of like a free DLC as well, a half and half.
Yeah, like the Eagle heavy rifle, that one.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is way back in the day. Yeah, maybe the Swedish K, something like that. So like not super meta weapons, but the first thing that sort of changed anything up. Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, it would be something like the Mod Courier pack within Payday 3. Something that just adds a bunch of variety, but also something to do within every heist.
Yeah, that's true.
Would be sick. They don't have to focus down a specific weapon type for me. I don't think. Although I want more snipers, personally.
True. I'll be honest. I do love that HE5 rifle. Or the HET5. God, that's beautiful.
I like the snipers. I don't love the R900.
Yeah.
It's just not right yet. It's not the right way that I like them yet. But I'm sure, hopefully, we get more guns eventually in this game, and they will do one that I will like. But
Fair enough.
as it stands now, the R900, not for me.
One thing that we said we'd like to touch up on would be like Payday 3's release. We know that they had a very rocky start, but they also, I believe it was today, they just released a Q3 report on how they've been going. But seems like Payday 3's actually been doing good despite most of the issues.
Yeah, so my perspective on that is that Payday 3 was always going to do well. It could have done very well, and launch is the reason why it hasn't done very well. And instead it's just been, it's just recouped. It's just done what they would have hoped it to do. Not sort of hit those stretch goals of keeping up the player numbers, keeping people engaged. And I would actually say, because at the time I thought, it's the matchmaking stuff that will impact it the most. And that might have had the biggest initial spike, but I legitimately think it's the lack of updates that's had the greater impact on the long term over the last couple of months' interest.
I think you're probably right. I think the matchmaking at the beginning was a hard barrier to get into, but I think that when people did get in, they were having fun and all that. I also think that it is the heist fatigue. There's only 8, and so you can do all of them. But sometimes I'll be like, okay, we'll just do them in order, and then I'm like, okay, well,
now what?
What do I just start again?
Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah,
yeah, great. Stream's over. Whatever, I guess. Sure, some of them can take a couple tries because my gang isn't the brightest, but it's fine. We have character. It's fine. But it's like, okay, well, what, do I just run through them again? Or, I'll select my favorites. I'm like, great, I'm just doing the same 4 heists, But I think that the matchmaking was kind of the first wall, and then they have a second wall to get over also with that.
When we talk about, content light, I wonder, because I mean, this is the case for all of us. I think that we all have some experience with the older games and how it was, and so I'm just wondering what's made it so different this time in terms of that replayability. Is it the difficulty? Is it the way the heists are presented? Is it the lack of multi-day? Because Payday 2 launched without a whole lot to do, yet I would say, happier doing the same things over and over again.
I didn't play Payday 2 at launch. I didn't get into 6 months after it started. I was a June 2014 player. I guess that's not 6 months, that's 10 months, whatever. But I don't know, I don't know what's different about it. It just feels... There's a different feel to it, I guess. I don't know, it's hard to put, words to. I think it's, maybe it's because in Payday 2, when everything was new, I was learning, right? And now with Payday 3, it's all still new, but I understand fundamentally how a Payday game plays, and an argument can be made, smarter. And so I think that it's okay, well, I have all this previous knowledge from Payday 2, from my disgusting time in that game, and then I also recently went back to Payday the Heist for the first time. I'm not an OG Payday the Heister, yikes. But I think that I've collected all this knowledge that now a Payday game, as soon as Payday 3 comes out, I feel like I should know what to do. I have all this experience, I have all this past knowledge. I know how the game functions to a degree. You know, obviously some stuff changed, and I'm still learning. But I think that I just have so much more knowledge to base off of and be like, oh, well, this probably functions similarly. So I've stopped really, like, learning in the game. And I just kind of am playing. And I feel like once you stop learning and you just start playing, you're going through the motions. And it feels less challenging mentally, like, from a conceptual level, not like, damn, they really hit harder. It's like, oh, I know how to do this. Obviously, I'll do this, and then I'll go here, and then I'll do this, and then I'll do this, and it like works perfectly because I know how it works. But I think that, you know, with new heists and new mechanics and new stuff, we'll get that back and we'll learn how stuff works again. But I think that it's the way that I've described Payday 2 feels like to me. Obviously, I haven't played a ton of Payday the Heist, or Payday 3 feels like I haven't played a ton of Payday the Heist, but it feels like a Payday 1.5. Like they took some from Payday the Heist and some from Payday 2 rather than a Payday 2 2.0. And I think that that's great, but they're all sort of like known mechanics. And I'm excited to see if new stuff comes, will I get that hunger to learn how it works back and feel like just more validated, I guess, when I finish a heist. And like when I do stuff, it's like, okay, well, here's the new puzzle. What do I do? What do I do? You know?
Yeah. You're going through the motions. It definitely feels that way a bit more. And that could be, to some extent, the lack of, like, difficulty ceiling. It isn't hard. We kind of solved overkill within the first night of the game, I'd completed every heist on overkill.
Nice.
I thought, no, but I was like...
He's a gamer.
Not nice. Not good. That needed to take longer. And so it's crazy how quickly we just sort of solved it. One of the things I saw online, I could not know who I'm crediting. This is just something I read and I assimilated that. I thought this is a really good point. Is that not only have we been spoiled by Payday 2 and all of its content and all the years of development and the fact that we're coming away from that to a much newer game in every sort of sense, but also when Payday 2 came out, it was competing with Payday the Heist pretty much. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, and Payday the Heist was a fantastic game in its own right, and I still think it has value over Payday 2, but it didn't have this massive player base. That player base grew within Payday 2, and grew to what it is today. Whereas Payday 3 has ended up competing almost literally with itself.
Mm-hmm.
Payday 2 is now a competitor for Payday 3, whereas I don't believe Payday the Heist was ever a competitor for Payday 2. So I actually think that explains a lot more of it than just, you know, people not sticking to the game. I think so many people have gone back to the previous game that they also love. And so I guess the only way you get past that is to develop Payday 3 in such a way that it's suddenly a proper alternative to Payday 2, and not just like a weekend holiday.
Mm-hmm.
True, and one thing I was going to bring up, and it was actually brought up in chat here, was the lack of like communication, especially through crossplay.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, like you are stuck with going through the motions. The learning curve's even bigger because we can't really communicate with. I do a lot of public matches. I can't communicate, and I want to communicate in this game. Payday 2, not so much. Payday the Heist, fucking loved it. But for like a 4-player co-op, it feels a bit rushed because a lot of quality of life stuff is missing that was there from day one, like not unreadying or fucking VoIP and all this shit. But now it's kind of it feels a bit rushed on release. All this stuff, it feels like it should have been there, and I had a whole thing planned, but with that I can definitely see it adding, especially to the fatigue of wanting to play the game, because shit, I don't have the ability to learn and teach people. That's what I love to do is help people learn the game, and I can't fucking do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But do you think, I mean, we don't know everything about the quality of life improvements we might be getting. Do you think that Update 2 will hook a lot of people back in?
Potentially. I mean, it definitely has caught a lot of people's eye. I mean, especially with the return of Ian Russell. Fuck, man, it's been blown up like wildfire. And I just hope that momentum stays and the player base, it gets bigger and Starbreeze does well.
I think it'll bring people back, but I don't think it'll stick. I think the only way to stick is to stick to continually adding more stuff on a consistent, reliable timeline.
Yeah.
I think it'll bring people back. They'll play the new heist. They'll be like, "Oh, sick! Hell yeah, I love it!" And then they'll be like, "All right, I'm gonna frick off. Call me when the next update is, and then we'll go from there." So I think that, and if that's obviously if it's done well, if it has a rough time, the patch doesn't perform super well, then people will be like, "Well, great." So assuming all goes well, then I think that people will come back. They'll see, oh, nice, new stuff. Okay. Then they'll take their little break. Then they'll come back. So I think that's one of my biggest gripes is that, like, the people doom posting about how many active players are playing right now. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, it means something, but it doesn't mean anything. Because, like, I love Payday. I'm having a blast. I don't play it all the time every day. I got other players to get. I got RoboQuest out, baby. I'm out here gaming, alright? Active players is not 100% indicative of how a game is performing. I think that's the thing. People are like, oh my god, only 4 people playing. Nightmare. Whatever. I just think that it'll pull people back, it'll get a big bump in the chart, and then it'll dip back down, which I think is normal and super, good and fine and fair. Because not everybody, there are casual players. Shocker to the people who are Payday diehards. There are casual players who play only on the weekends, who play only 1 day a week. It's crazy, I know. I used to put 100 hours in a week. There are casual players. And so Steam charts aren't everything. So I think that's it's been so annoying to see. I'll scroll through, or I get push notifications from the subreddit sometimes. It's like, oh my god, only, 1,000 play. I'm like, shut up. Who is benefiting from you doing this? Because you're not. I'm not. They're not. No one is benefiting from people, studying the Steam charts every day, every hour. I'm like, people will play the game. I think Payday has a very loyal fan base. I think that, I think they'll do enough in the next little bit, little bit being whatever the lifespan you're thinking the game is going to be, there will be something that will bring back everybody. Hopefully. They'll add more stealth-only heists for the stealth enjoyers. They'll add more loud-only heists for the loud enjoyers. They'll add more, lore for the lore people,
Yes.
I'm sure that they have plans to do something to accommodate what everybody loves about Payday that will bring them back at least once. And I think that that's what matters rather than active players. Obviously, active players matter to game companies and all. I get it. It does matter. But it's not everything. It's not, the end of the world if there's less than 1 million people playing the game. That's just my little rant about that.
That's fair.
And then, sales as well. How many people do you reckon who play Payday 2 bought it at full price?
Not me.
3%? 3% maybe? It's the sort of game that does very well off the back of that, and then sells a lot of additional content. It's just the way Payday 2 worked, for better or for worse. I'm not super concerned. My main problem with the Doom posting is that it can be a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy for people. As soon as to be honest, Payday isn't a game that requires a massive player base. As long as there's 3 other people online,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But some people get in their heads, this game has to be massive or otherwise it's not worth pursuing. Now, Payday isn't a game you pursue anyway, for the most part. Some people kind of pursued Payday 2 semi-competitively. It's kind of crazy. But it does have a massive casual audience who just enjoy it for what it is. And Doom posting can put some people off from playing it because they're like, oh, it's dying, so I won't play it, and it dies more. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It annoys me. I'm with you on that.
True, and I think, Sea-Dog, you mentioned this earlier, I think one thing that definitely would definitely help that would be a set schedule or regularly doing updates, and I'm so glad to hear that Starbreeze is kind of holding all the updates to what they said true. Everybody's getting the same update at the same time. PC always got all the love. It's nice to see they're sharing that across the board, and hopefully once that pipeline kind of gets streamlined, hopefully we'll start to see more of that quality of life stuff. Because a lot of things that I also heard was people, oh, Payday 3 shit, we only got 8 heists. When you're comparing that to a game that's 10 years old, it's at over what, 200 heists? Or fuck.
88, I think?
No, over 200 updates.
Updates, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, you got to give it some time to blossom and whatnot, but rocky start, but the potential is obviously there. And Starbreeze, I got faith in them. They'll definitely pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that player base back up, no worries. And like you said, at the end of the day, it's a game meant for 4 people, not 20,000 at the same time.
I don't need to queue up with 100 other people. So
Yeah.
That's exactly why I don't play this game. My God.
Massive
thank
raids coming to Payday 3, confirmed. You need at least 100 players to
Oh no!
rob the White House now. Yeah, I'm not super concerned either. The interest is there. It's interesting to me because the most vitriolic and angry people online are the biggest Payday fans. It's terrible. It's like, mate, what are you doing in the comments of every single post? You're more into this than me. But they just want it to be good, and it isn't what they wanted it to be in certain ways, and so that's how they're displaying their anger and frustration. And hey, who am I to stop them?
It comes from a place of love, but boy, do they not know how to say it right.
Yeah, some people, they get a little fucking carried away.
I've gotten death threats for Starbreeze in my chat. I'm like, this is not how we handle this. This is not how normal people handle things. The game had a rough launch, but also, it's a game. It's...
Yeah.
Telling me that you're gonna... Like, this doesn't help anybody. And so it's like, I get it. They want it to succeed, but maybe we proofread our messages before we send them. I'm a big proofreader fan.
You gotta think, oh, will this get me put on a watch list? I better not send that.
Yeah, maybe. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how to help you, because I have no power, sorry. Hee.
So, what do you guys think are the odds that they'll add some kind of secret in the third game?
I feel like it's already in there.
No, I asked pre-launch, and I was like, probably not.
It doesn't have to be Nephilim related. I'm just...
Yeah, I think if the game does what we hope it does and succeeds over the next 12 months, yeah, I think one day we'll get something along those lines, because they know we love it, and the community interaction's always been really good with these ARG things, even when they did the little ones like the Lock Breaker and things like that for Payday 2. Yeah, definitely. I am surprised.
I feel like there's already something. Yeah, I just think we haven't found it.
It's fine. We're chilling.
Oh God. Yeah, 1 second. My stream's about to come back online. I am so sorry. Yeah, my power flickered for a moment.
Oh, SMH, how could you not plan around this?
Lord knows. Trees and Florida and power lines, they all go together.
Well, there's your first mistake.
Yeah.
Florida.
Alright, 1 sec. We appear to be back on. And I'm sorry, where did we leave off? I kind of panicked for a moment.
You just seemed so happy. You were frozen for us, and I was like,
damn, he's stoked. It's okay, we told a bunch of secrets while you were gone.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Only mean things, it's okay.
Oh, fair enough. At least chat didn't get to hear it.
Damn, let me type it all in chat, hold on.
But 1 moment.
That's what I was scared of. Are we back?
We're back now. Yeah, we're back. Yeah.
Phew. Yeah, I don't remember what we were saying, so maybe we should just move on.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wanted to know what this is like the question that I get in my comments, which is like, oh, what heister do you want back? Returning heister. Any strong opinions there?
As much as I love Jimmy, Duke. I want Duke to come back.
Oh, Duke would be so good.
I mean,
Duke
he's...
was in quite a lot lot of sense.
He's got a museum in New York, right?
That stuff's super not canon, and it does my head in. I hate
What?
it. Those stories, they're all over the place, man.
Fuck.
They're mostly in jokes, like Wolf, GTFO and stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't hold a ton of water. What they said about like their retirement things, but I can have Duke having a New York.
But I was meaning I totally forgot about those little excerpts, but I was meaning like the finale or the one where they're on the beach. They say, can you believe Duke went and got himself a museum? I thought it was in New York.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I can't remember. I've watched that cutscene. Not 50 plus times, and I can't remember that either. The stuff that's mentioned in that 100%, I'm down.
Okay. Oh, I got worried for a moment. Oh.
No. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe the secret ending never happened and they never had those conversations. But I'm down. I'm down to clown with those specific ones. Like
Gotcha.
Jimmy's still on that beach somewhere, and what is it? It's like
Somewhere in Colombia, living his best life.
Yeah, Sangres went with who was it? Jiro to Japan, stuff like that. That's I can jive with that, but like when people are telling me what Ethan and Healer did on the secret rumors, I'm like, dude, stop, please.
I mean, I'd love to see Wick back. I'm a Wick fan. I love him. I think I love him because his voice lines in Payday 2 are just so goofy, and I think that's why I like him. But
it'd be a great opportunity to actually use Keanu for the third game.
I love Wick. And here's my hot take of the podcast. I don't want Jacket back. I don't like him.
I didn't say that.
I'm not a fan. I will say, if they do a couple things differently, I'm open to it. But I'm not a Jacket stan. If I hear arms outstretched one more fucking time, I'm going to lose my mind. So, if they do something different with the voice lines, have more of them, so we're not hearing the same one over and over again.
Doesn't Jacket technically have the most voiceovers or like different varying voice lines?
I don't know, but all I ever hear is arms outstretched, and it takes a lot of willpower to not kick him from my lobby. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I don't think he has the most voice lines. He might have the most spoken word because some of his voice lines go on for like 2 minutes.
I mean, Pearl essays every time she answers a radio now.
Yeah, well, it's good they actually added those now. They work. Actually,
yeah, but I don't want to hear her talk for 2 minutes after the radio's done. I'm like, oh, she's still going? Okay, cool. No, yeah. I'm sure the other guy's still listening.
Fair. What about you, Noli?
If I don't say Jimmy, I'd be like doing a disservice to my brand.
Fair enough.
I just love him. I just think he's got the strongest performance in Payday 2. Sholto Copley's a legend, and he'd have the strongest performance in Payday 3 as well.
Yeah, the hardcore Henry trailer, that was by far my favorite. I'll rewatch that any day of the week. Just walking down the street, fucking bag in the face. Oh.
You tell me that they're adding back Murky Station, and I remind everyone that Jimmy used to contract that one, and they're like, "What? Jimmy was a heist?" But now we know it's Locke, and it doesn't look like there's any Murkies there anymore. So
true.
Well, it's a different name technically. There's just security guards now.
Yeah.
But with the same kind of equipment.
I suppose. Well, do we know what's even in the trains?
Well, I was meaning in the sense of like the UAV drones and the like the same kind of equipment being used. So probably somebody. We haven't heard word of any other PMCs or private security, have we?
I should know this if we did, and we haven't. No.
Yeah, but
I haven't heard anything
I remember
about
Starbreeze talking about like other entities, but I've still only seen GenSec.
Yeah, as far as we know.
Well, and the FBI van.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The FBI van shows up.
Thank you, FBI.
Oh no, you shot my antenna.
She's gonna be a character. That is 100% gonna happen in the future. And I think the faction is whoever John Concord's lads are, the people who tried to perform the assassination.
The
Yes, his
Concord
name is
boys.
John, and it makes me so happy. You can find it in the credits. I was like, what's the deal with Concord? Oh, it's John Concord.
Of course
John
it is.
Payday Concord. Yeah, so I assume it might be related to him. He's the remaining big bad, who we don't know much about.
There's a possibility. I'm actually now trying to rack my brain if there was ever any other security company in Payday 2, but no, it was just Murky's and Gensec, so...
So, like, there are different security companies, officially, because they're the ones that provide the different modifiers. Like, the Titan camera, for example.
Gotcha.
So that is a thing, but it isn't very well elaborated on, as far as I know. And I should know, because I literally just did that video, so if I missed it, I'm sorry, everybody. But yeah, I think the narratives... I have complaints about the narrative, and it's mostly in the way they chose to remove all the mystery from it. I don't know about you guys, but my favorite thing about Payday 2's story, even before it was batshit insane, was the mystery of it. Like, who was the rat who landed Hoxton in prison? You didn't know until you knew, whereas we literally watch cutscenes with the bad guys having a chat, which does nothing for me. That really annoys me story-wise.
You like the mystery. You don't like it to be presented.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Until we
'Cause
find out what's behind the curtain.
Yeah, I wasn't... Again, I'm a late, paydayer. 2014. So not everything had been, whatever, but I didn't pay attention. I'm not a big reader. I'm not a strong reader. But it took me until, like, maybe it's because I never did Hoxton Revenge, but it took me until, I don't know, 2020 to realize who the rat was. And I was like,
Lord.
Hold on a minute. There's a story here. Wait a minute.
There's this heg to jackass.
I'm just like, I just shoot people and then they die.
Who the fuck's it?
I didn't know
Hoxton
they're trying to tell the story here, man. I'm just like clicking around. So like having the story spoon fed to me, I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm not paying attention, man. But
Yeah.
I have a new appreciation for the story and everything. But I'm like, when I was doing only Payday 2 and just having a laugh with it, I was like, who needs a story? Not me. I just pick a heist and we go.
Yeah, to be fair, Payday doesn't live or die by its story. It's just kind of cool to have. And like even at the release of Payday 2, when we were looking for the secret and stuff, we had all that information about certain characters that just seemed a bit shady. Everyone was like, oh, the elephant, Vlad, they're all causing problems because of the web series, and all Hector's jobs kept going bad, and that was kind of intriguing, and we just don't have anything like that. Everything's just kind of straightforward, and the story is told. There's just no question marks. There's no room really for speculation, other than, who's John Concord? And we'll find that out eventually. So
do you think maybe they're just setting the stage for there to be more mystery, and that this is all just what we have to start with, and they're playing the long con with us?
Probably, but there's
Are
only
you
so much
hoping
of
for that at least?
Yeah, there's only
Yeah.
so much of a long con you can play, right? We want to see as much as we possibly can from launch.
Yeah.
Because otherwise people won't stick around. A
Mm-hmm.
little bit like the amount of content. So
Yeah.
it's a difficult balance to strike, I guess.
Yeah.
True, and probably we'll probably come into more elaboration on like Wixia and whatnot. I know we've kind of fucked with them here and there.
Yeah, definitely. They're a big deal. And Almendir or whatever they are, the research company.
Yeah.
There's something going on there behind the scenes. Wixia were involved with Garner, and
Wait, with
we
what?
just don't know yet.
And the Wixia guy has a box at the bank. Did you know that?
Yeah.
He does.
Yes.
He does. and that's meant to be set up for 99 boxes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's the only heist they ever did that on, so I wonder if that was an abandoned idea.
What was the whole like little bit of info?
Yeah. So like, my genuine theory, this is like a crackpot theory, but it's that originally 99 boxes was meant to be led into by No Rest for the Wicked, and we found that intel and stuff to get in there, and instead they managed to get Ice-T, and they were like, shit, yeah, Ice-T, you can set this one up instead. So we were just left with this relic of the Wixia information, and it sort of served no purpose, because instead Ice-T just comes in and is like, yeah, here's the deal. I'm not going to do the accent. I can't do it. Marina Top Hat can do it, but I'm not going to do it. So my theory is that they kind of made some adaptations there, but originally they were going to have more carryover from one heist into the other, and I think that's really missing. It would have been sick to have the billboard in Golden Shark with information on previous heists. You know how you could find like newspaper clippings in Payday 2
Yeah.
talking about first, that kind of thing's just missing.
True. Fuck, I was trying to remember if there was another heist that kind of mentioned Wixia, but only other thing I guess kind of would be Road Rage would be stealing the elements that Wixia would use.
Isn't Wixia on the computers in Golden Shark also?
They make all the computers.
Yeah, so they're,
just
you
a
know,
tech company.
they're around.
It's kind of weird for the whole quantum computing thing to be supplying a bank. I don't know, is that weird to me?
Yeah. Maybe. I think if you look, Wixia literally have their name on everything technical. So when you find the hard drive, Mason's hard drive in Touch the Sky, it's Wixia branded. So
I actually
it's
never looked
everything
close
has
at that
Wixia
one.
on it.
They're just the
Yeah.
Logitech of Payday.
Genuinely, I think that might be the idea, but yeah. And I guess actually Touch the Sky is an example of a heist that links, that calls back to previous ones, because Mason's talking about like, they hit Golden Shark.
Oh yeah, he does
So
go
that's
on
the
about
only
that.
one.
Yeah.
And then Mason turns into a regular civilian, which really pisses me off. I wanted him to like run, because he runs. He's programmed to run inside his safe room.
Mm-hmm.
Come out like Hector. Let him use the guns.
Oh.
And
That
stuff.
would have been nice, yes.
What
That would've been cool.
a missed opportunity. I little things like that, which aren't like game changing in any way, but those are the sort of things I would love to have seen, and I'm hoping future heists try and take advantage of.
Fair
Speaking of Mason, just a fun little aside. What's your ratio on him surviving the walk to the room? Because mine is not high.
It's normally a fire extinguisher somewhere that just
Oh lord.
rains.
Usually he'll just catch a stray from a teammate in the hallway. And they're like, oh, by the way, we have to drill now. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay,
Well,
I guess.
Once we learnt the naughty exploit with the spy cam, I was like, screw that guy.
I just can't get it. I've tried, I can't get it right. Tutorial when, Noli, please. I need help.
I think I spoke about it at one point. I didn't find any of these things. Much more talented secret finders in the community did it, but it's like you've got to place it just like adjacent to the top of the thing you turn for the vault. Just on
Yeah,
the
and then
opposite side.
then you like gotta do it at the right height so it's like not blocked by the UI. It's like
You need the
God.
right field of view as well.
Yeah,
What
oh my
what
God.
fucking exploit are y'all talking about?
You can use a spy cam to look through Mason's vault wall to see the code.
To get the code.
Oh,
Someone tried to
Lord.
explain it to me, and I was like, "Oh, you slide it under the door," and so I'm like shoving the spy cam under the door, and they're like, "No, you're." Just...
That would have been sick, by the way.
That
would
would
have
have
actually been cool, but instead it's just a glitch.
Yeah. Oh well.
Ooh, someone in chat actually brought up a good idea. What if you put a cam on Mason in stealth, then let him run in? But
You can do that, but the problem is you also have to be really precise, because he goes and cowers in the exact same place. But you can use it to see it inside.
I do like
Gotcha.
sticking them on sieves and then trading them and watching them run. It's very goofy. If you haven't done it, try it. It's
I'm gonna
very
have to.
funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. That sounds pretty fun.
You throw it at them, and then you're like, all right, get the fuck out of here. And then they like run away, and they like wobble. Oh my god, it's so goofy. It's so fun.
Camera's actually a sick tool for recording, and I only learned this really late into making the story of Payday 3 video because we don't have like free flight cam, which
Mhm.
I used to use for like slow mo zooms, and like vaguely cinematic stuff.
Mhm.
But actually, the micro cam can be super cinematic for whatever reason, especially when stuck to the back of a civilian, and it's just like combat shots.
My preferred use for the microcam is to watch myself get cloaked.
Yes,
That's a great
It's
clip.
like a
Yeah.
CCTV angle of me dying.
Oh, speaking of cloakers, and there are rumors of like the potential for medics to return. Things like, does anyone have any ideas for a new unit that they like to see? Because I said canine unit, and I was like, wait, I don't want to shoot dogs.
Yeah, wait a minute.
But, like,
Hey,
I want
combatant's a
something
combatant. You
I
gotta
want
take that out of there.
that does the same thing, like something small, fast,
Like
and,
a
like
robot dog. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that.
yeah.
Get the Boston Dynamics shit.
That's not a bad idea.
Strap a gun on that motherfucker.
That's dangerous. that sounds pretty dangerous.
Special unit.
I'd be okay with medics coming back as long as they find a way to not have medics heal other medics. Because that was so annoying. I do not
Especially
miss
with
that.
Medic dozers made that even worse, right?
My god.
You could get like 4 of them back before they fixed the spawn counter, which
Well,
they
and
actually did.
I don't know if you ever had this problem, but my lobbies and like one of my friends' lobbies are so fucked up because we'll get like 4 minigun dozers just in a little gang, and then a medic dozer rolls up, and I'm like, okay, I'll just close the game. I'll just close the game. Sorry to bother you. I will. Sorry, I had the audacity to play the game. Clearly, you don't want me here. I'll just go. And then I'm like, what am I supposed to do? They all jumped over the wall at the same time. I'm like, I can't do anything.
That used to be caused by the fact that minigun dozer and medic dozers didn't count towards
Yeah.
the spawn cap, but they did fix that.
Yeah,
Like,
finally.
Payday 2.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Only took, a while.
The mod fixing it had been out for like 3 years, so
Modding Payday 2 scared me so bad. I was so nervous. Modding any game makes me so nervous. I'm
you
like,
feel like you're gonna brick it.
yeah, and I'm gonna lose everything. Dude, I just put a new mod in Stardew Valley and I had a heart attack while I did it. It was terrible. It was terrible. Which is also why I don't want to do anything to Payday 3 yet, because I'm like, I just want to wait and see what happens. It's a baby still. I don't need to change it. It's fine. It's fine enough as it is.
Fair enough.
I just think that modders are so good at making fixes for all of our problems that I'm like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, it is scary how
yes.
modders tend to fix shit that, like, some developers, they just either don't know how to fix or they just don't get to it.
It's
Yeah.
the red tape as well, right? Like modders
True.
can just release what they want when they want, whereas right now, because of the process and the certification it has to go through, every update is that bit more dragged out, and they have to be a little bit more pragmatic with what they add into the update as well. I think that's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making excuses there. Sounds like I am, but like, come on, the modders. I'm a pro modder man.
I do love the modders. I just, I don't need to. No, not that I don't trust them. I love them. I just don't. I don't want to dip my toe into that yet, because I know once I start, I won't go back. And then it's a wrap from there, baby. It's like I'm in too deep at that point. I'm like, throw everything in there. I want to play Payday 3 for what it is. All of its bugs, all of its niceness, all of its features, every feature, no bugs, all features. I just want to experience it from how it is. And, maybe in a year or so I'll start downloading some stuff, but like as it is now, I don't want to mess with it. I want to see what happens. I'm just waiting patiently. I'm like, ooh, what's next?
Understandable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, speaking of waiting for what's next, if y'all could choose one heister that you wish would be dead besides Ethan and Gila, that's always going to be the crowd favorite.
They're off the table.
Yeah. Well, who would be your choices? Because at the end of the day, you know, somebody's going to get killed. You know, it's just RNG at that point.
I cannot wait to get the news that Rust is dead. I can't
Heart
wait.
attack.
God, I don't care. I just want confirmation that he's not coming back. That's all. That's all I need.
I don't think you need that. I think it's already so unlikely.
I mean, anything could happen. Anything could happen. I just want it gone.
You know, it's not out of the question. No one's officially dead yet. I think it has to be someone super beloved. Like they have to go for the jugular. It won't be Houston, but he would be my call.
I don't know why. I thought you were gonna say Sydney.
Sydney.
Oh, I love Sydney though.
No, people really like Sydney, and enough people really hate her as well, to where that would be such a polarizing thing. I don't think it's even worth stepping into that territory. You want someone who's universally loved but isn't the most popular character. Maybe someone like Jiro, but I don't want them to. But someone has to go. Big
Someone's
time.
got to
Who's
take it one for the team. Yeah.
I mean,
do Houston. I know you won't, cowards.
I'm not opposed to Houston, but if I had to pick, maybe Bonnie. To be honest, I just no real connection there. Never really seen her played much, and just wasn't the biggest fan of the lines, I guess. But
I love Bonnie. I think she's really underrated.
That is the thing. She is definitely underrated, because I do know a couple people who absolutely love her, but.
And we don't have enough characters like her that are just kind of a bit different.
True.
She wouldn't be my pick. But, yeah.
With my man
I think
Houston.
you gotta go for someone who is really well liked, and can actually move the story on a little bit. Because you kill Houston, you killed off Dallas's brother.
Yeah, but so that's a big hit on Dallas.
I put money on them not. They want to do a Houston breakout. I know they want to do this. It's just like
the irony.
It's in the stars. It's written. It's already there.
What if they do a Houston breakout and he doesn't make it?
Oh, sign me up for that.
Like
God,
at the
can
end,
you
no
imagine?
matter how good the heist goes,
He dies. Yeah,
dies.
he like catches a stray round or something.
Mhm.
That's not a bad way to go
I'd play
about
the
it.
shit out of that.
That sounds.
That'd be so good.
The thing is, that's a sick character moment, and in Payday, there haven't been that many really good character moments like that. Like, they've been very cautious with killing people off or doing anything kind of bold. So yeah, do it. I know you won't.
I think that'd be cool.
Noli
The reason
directly
why-
challenging Starbreeze. Do it, you cowards.
The reason why I don't think they will or would or are very nervous to is because the characters are all their own like merchandising opportunities. So you kill off someone like Houston, who has one of the most iconic masks. There goes that. And it's the same with a few of the other really popular characters. Like they have masks and things that are great merch options. So it would be very bold to cut off a revenue stream because you're like, yeah, do it for the art.
I mean,
But also,
yeah.
I'd admire the dedication. You know, they could do like a Memorial Houston merch. You know,
R.I.P. Houston.
it's just
The
got
undead
X's over
mask.
his little eyes. Yeah, I think there's a way to turn losing that profit line into something new. I think that shouldn't be a deciding factor.
No, probably not. And I think it'll be interesting if this probable TV series goes ahead, how they approach it, and if they maybe kill people off there or a bit more
Ooh.
aggressive in their storytelling.
I am
It's easier to do it.
I'm so excited for the new set of if there is more live action shit. Fuck, oh god, that was so good, that Follow the Money episode. It's a different director. Well, obviously it's not Damien Lichtenstein, but was it a new director this go around?
I believe so. Yeah, I know. A few
Great
of the people
job.
who were involved in it, and they were they were pleased with it because I met them around Gamescom right when
Nice.
it launched, and they were really pleased with it because it was kind of cool direction, right? The way the title worked around the whole concept.
Yeah. Just, I mean, seeing all the characters back in action, shit. I mean, it was the Payday Gang's return. It was nice. It was beautiful. Let's see here. Someone asked a question earlier. I'm trying to find it just so I can quote them correctly. Sorry, just a moment.
Gone all kinds of out of focus. Oh, we're back.
Let's go.
Sorry, I told you it was a bootleg setup.
It's okay. It's you know, it humanizes you. You're just like us.
People who watch my streams know I am far worse. I am a bit of a technophobe on the quiet.
Oh,
I did lose it, but I'll tell you what. We'll start to round out everything, and we'll take questions for the next 10 minutes or so, if that's all right.
Perfect.
All right. So yeah, anybody in chat, if y'all have any questions for us or anything you'd like us to shed a bit more light on, by all means. Are you saying Noli is a lizard like Zuckerberg? Who said that? Whoa, no.
I do need like.
Oh, the water. I need to get some myself.
I planned ahead.
About the merch idea of yours, or is it?
I actually started the podcast drinking a Guinness, so that was
Okay, well.
Nice.
It was 11 a.m. for me, so.
Yeah, well, it's later for me. It's late.
Are you +8 from me? Is it?
It is currently 8:23.
I knew it.
So I got a question to Noli here. What's your opinion on Payday the Heist on PS3? I don't know if you've touched that one.
On PS3, like
Yeah.
original launch.
Yeah.
What kind of like? Yeah, it's the OG. Like, what about it is different that I'm not aware of?
No, well, I guess he's just kind of asking you because, like, in my stream, I'll say that's the absolute worst version of Payday. Like, period.
Worse than Payday 2, Xbox 360, and PS3.
I mean, it only ever got one update, and it's. I mean, they're kind of neck and neck, isn't it?
I would imagine if I know. I don't think I've actually ever played the PS3 version, but I would genuinely imagine Payday the Heist was better. Just because of the abhorrent state that was left in. Leveling was a nightmare. The DLCs that came out weren't all that helpful for anything. There's basically no content. Whereas at the very least, Payday the Heist, I think everyone can say, those heists that it launched with were pretty hefty. There was value there. So that's I don't think it's the worst. I assume, but I haven't played it. So if I had, maybe I'd agree with you.
And LMR, I'll
But
follow up with that.
I have played 360 Payday 2, and that's kind of wild.
So yeah, I've played it. I never got any of the updates, but I played a couple of heists on 360. I couldn't fuck it. It felt the same as the PS3. It's stiff. The controls just. I'm so used to mouse and keyboard. It's a totally different game. What about you, C-Dog? Have you played any of them on console?
I have not, but I did just go to the store. Hold on, I have it right here. I just went to GameStop, and I picked up. I'm playing Assassin's Creed right now.
Okay.
And they did a buy 2 get 1 free, and I was like, oh sick! So I picked up the Assassin's Creed I wanted, and I picked up Hitman because I've heard good things, and I also found this gem. So, stay tuned for this. Maybe we'll go back and see how it goes. But
best of luck. What?
It was my free game, so I was like, "This is so funny. This is so quirky."
I'm trying to remember that. What amount of DLC does that come with?
It's
I know where it goes up to vaguely. It's like a weird version that PC never really got, but it doesn't have the safe house. It does have Crime Spree, I believe.
It does. I believe it has Crime Spree.
So that sort of era of Payday 2. No White House, no final heist added was maybe Brooklyn Bank.
I think so, or something around there.
So yeah, it's a
Wow.
strange place, but like it's not as empty as Xbox 360 or
Yeah.
PS3.
Yeah, that is a rather odd place to leave off.
Fun fact about that one though is matchmaking didn't work at launch.
Huge.
Matchmake. I used to have to like help people matchmake via Twitter.
Holy
Oh my god.
Jesus
They've always had
Christ.
issues with matchmaking. Nothing changes.
Let's see.
Consistency, at least. We love it.
Absolutely, consoles getting shafted. Commander CH, he asked, taking highest difficulty on each Payday game, which one do you feel is the hardest to solo and co-op?
I mean, I think Death Sentence is the hardest to solo, but that could just be a massive skill issue. But, like, I played pretty comfortably on Death Wish. I played pretty comfortably on Very Hard in Payday 3 by myself. I mean, I could try Overkill by myself on Payday 3, but, like, I don't want to sweat that hard. I'm not.
You do have to sweat that hard.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to.
Because the bots are so useless. So, like,
Exactly.
it's an interesting question because I would say if we're counting bots, because the bots are so OP in Payday 2, Death Sentence with bots is probably easier than Overkill with bots on Payday 3 because the bots are so useless and you will be solo.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the bots in Payday 3 being useless?
Yes.
I mean, hey, if they're dropping resources, that's way more useful than the previous two titles.
I mean,
That's-
but they're paper thin. They're just
Yeah, that's just enough to keep you going, but that's better than being stuck at
they
zero
could-
health and zero armor and no ammo.
if they could pick each other up.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it.
That
I'd
would be
feel better
oh,
about it. But because they are paper thin and cannot help each other up, and sometimes I can't even help them up. I don't know if you guys have been having this problem. I can't interact with the bots sometimes when they're down, and I'm like, well, sorry. I'll just close the game. Sorry. I'm sorry, Starbeast. I don't know. I guess you don't want me to play this game.
Yeah,
I can't do anything.
They become actually intangible. I don't know what causes that, but that is a known issue.
It's so
The thing
annoying.
is, on the hardest difficulty, on Overkill, they'll only drop two things.
Mhm.
On normal and hard, they'll drop infinite. On very hard, it's limited to quite a lot.
I think it's
because it is
3 or
that-
4.
I think it's higher than that. I think it's actually 6.
Oh,
but
shit.
I could be wrong. And I think it's 2 on Overkill, which is super limited. You can... The way you have to play it is you just have to basically either abuse that skill that lets you become invulnerable after reviving those idiot teammates, so you
Mhm.
use them as like a conga line of invincibility, or you hide in the corner for the entire assault wave
And then you
with
do stuff in the break,
a
yeah.
weapon and then just do stuff. Whereas, whilst you should play kind of like that in Payday 2, you can get away with a lot more, and there's so many more OP builds.
Yeah, there's so many more like ways to play in Payday 2.
Yeah.
So I would say co-op, Payday 2, solo, Payday 3 right now. I think Payday 3 could end up being the hardest game though, with certain developments and things in the future.
Potentially, yeah. There's lots of different ways that Starbreeze or the cops, especially in Payday 3, has been trying to like combat especially with the Grenadiers, with their ability to literally just push you out of your comfort zone. I mean, you got to keep coming up with new ways, and in Payday 2, yeah, there was quite a little bit of variety, mainly just with the fucking dozers. It wasn't as bad, especially with all the skills, the builds and whatnot. A lot more ways to be self-sufficient. So yeah, Payday 3 is definitely a bit more of a challenge at the moment.
I also think that like if armor wasn't OP and everyone didn't know that, we would be having a much harder time. And also if heists were longer, because basically you just have enough resources to get through. You can play kind of poorly and just keep refreshing the armor with I always get it wrong whether it's like armor up is the one that's giving you 2 things.
I
but
think
that is
that's
just the
plate
best
up
skill.
that gives
Plate
you that
up
one.
is just the best skill in the game. And when you have that and enough armor bags, you can play as badly as you want. But if
How many armor plates do you play with?
on your armor,
Yeah. Are you a
Four.
4-plate?
Four.
Oh.
I've had discussions. I don't think it's the best, but I don't care.
He's a 4-plater. Ooh.
Nothing wrong with that.
I've seen the light, and I am a 2-plater now.
Sheesh.
When they fixed, it is actually armor up, isn't it? The skill where if you have edge and you kill someone and get ammo, it automatically, or it might be grit, I can't remember which way around it is, but you automatically refill your armor.
Oh yeah.
And that skill does work, but it doesn't work if you're using the retriever build, the
Mm-hmm.
instant ammo into
Ammo funnel and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, retriever ammo funnel. When they fix that, because it's meant to work, that will just be the best way to play. And then you probably want as many plates as you can get.
My opinion on 2 plates is that I'm so listen. I started Payday 2 like really hard last August. So not 3 months ago, but a year and 3 months ago. I was Infamy 3. By this August, I was Infamy 306.
Bloody hell.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So I played a lot. I am so Payday 2 brained that I have found that 2 armor plates is the most similar to how I play in Payday 2 because I simply cannot change how my brain thinks and functions and plays. It is muscle memory, it is brain memory, I can't fix it. And so 2 armor plates gives me a similar like armor chunk regeneration time that like I had in Payday 2. I'm like, okay, I get it. I've gotten way better since switching down to 2 armor plates than when I had 4. And it's just... So I think for people who are like me and have a little goofy brain, 2 armor plates can be way better than 4. And like, I survive. I do fine enough with my team or by myself. But it's the play style that I just can't break from Payday 2.
I can believe that. But I think I have the exact same problem. But because I play Payday 2 ultra aggressively, I play Payday 3 ultra aggressively, you're really punished for playing aggressively in Payday 3.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of the armor, so I just need as much of that shit as I can get to allow me to play like a lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. In Payday 2 especially, I'm trying to do the fastest build possible all around the fucking map. And as much as I want to run a 2-plate in Payday 3, I'm quickly told to sit the fuck down. And so I need 4 plates. I need as much armor as I can get because yeah, it's a rough learning curve at first, especially. But let's see. Next question, Grim. He said, if there was any kind of heist that you could supervise creation for yourself, what kind of heist would each of you create?
But damn, are they paying me for this?
I hope we get paid as a supervised creator.
You get paid an exposure. It's just got your name on the heist.
Nice.
You're the contractor. There you go. There's your exposure.
Okay. Yeah. It's the Noli heist, and it's just like the Alesso heist, except it's just called the Noli heist.
They just steal like your volumes of lore.
They're like, we're going to take his books, his journals. I mean, I'd love a casino heist, like Golden Grin. Something
True.
big, something just so obnoxious, something super cool. But also, I don't think I need to supervise it. I think they have way better taste than I do. But I don't know, something big and obnoxious and flashy and showy would be sick.
True. Personally, I would like to see a post office. Ever since it was talked about or sung about in Hoxton's little Christmas EP, I was like, well, shit, we've never done that. And it's been that way. It'd be nice to, maybe steal. I could see Vlad being a contractor for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a shame that we've lost those, like, very small-time jobs from Payday 2. I think they had a place, your 4 sorts of jobs. So I'd love to see, like, a pack that's just a few little hits, I think that would fit really nicely, wouldn't it? But I want to rob more things that are moving.
Oh.
Like trains and...
Like
I was about to say trains.
Boats. I think those are really cool conceptually, and you can do really, unique stuff with them. it would be cool as well if like it reached a certain destination at some point. Whereas if you think about Biker Heist, which is my least favorite heist in the game in Payday 2, that train ain't going nowhere. No, I like Day 2.
But it's so good. It's such a great heist.
Trash bad. I hate it. It's basically an RNG coin flip as to whether you can do it solo with my challenge run rule set. So I hate it. But Day 2's cool. More of that, please. I'll
Fair enough.
supervise it if you pay me.
You paid an exposure. I said this.
Now, Commander, he brought up something I think might be best to save for a future episode, was talking about the stealth in terms of difficulty, because it especially has had a massive overhaul, especially since Payday the Heist. But I think that's just a giant conversation in of itself that we will definitely have to touch up on in the future.
Yeah, I'd love to talk more about stealth. I know Commander's huge on stealth. In fact, I think his group is one of the ones that found a lot of the stealth bugs.
He's who I get like all my information from. Yeah. He's like, hey, by the way, I'm like, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. So I would love that. I think it is the most improved area of the game, and I think it will get better and better because the way the freeform setup is at the moment, it really lends itself to crazy objectives in the future. Because everything is so adaptive compared to how it was in Payday 2, where it was really rigid. And if you loved Payday 2 and enjoyed that rigidity, it was fine. But Payday 3 is that there are so many different ways to play it now that you never had in Payday 2, especially co-op. You know, things like leading guards out of the way, and I love that. It's unnecessary, and I would like to see it be more necessary in the future.
Mm-hmm. Sending a little decoy in.
Yeah.
A distraction. You cause a distraction, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Classic.
I love that.
I'm good at distraction.
Play co-op, I guess, which I don't love. I like.
And it forces communication also,
which
we can't do.
Fucking
right now.
Get to it.
I think you'll find I can actually say "piece of shit drill," which is code for.
That's code
go
for
over there.
Going loud.
Don't follow me, piece of shit drill over there.
My vocabulary is very limited. I'd like to be able to customize the call-out wheel. Because, like...
Get more commands?
Well, I mean, have options. Like, I don't... Like, hot take. I'm not one of the people that spams piece of shit drill. I rarely use it. So, I don't need the space. I like to be able to put something else in that space. Or also, I'm kind of a piece of shit, and I don't want to say thank you to my teammates, so I'd like to be able to put something else where thank you is, you know? I think it'd be really neat and a really cool... I don't know. I don't know if it counts as quality of life, but, like, a neat little thing.
But, like a modular, chat
like,
wheel.
You pick from a few certain ones, but, like, then I can have what I use on my little wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wait till that's an emote wheel, though.
Oh, I can't wait to hit the gritty.
Yeah. We already are.
I'm stoked. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I just think it'd be neat, you know? It's not a deal breaker, but, like, it'd be kind of cool.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. Just gotta get them all in to voice the lines.
Exactly, that's... But if they plan for it now, if I plant the seed now, right, they can record all the lines now, and then in the future. I'm just saying. Consider it. You can have that one for free, Starbreeze. Trust.
Fair enough. And it looks like all the questions have been rounded out. And yeah, just kind of leaves us to our big announcement. Does who would like to let the people know?
You've got to do it.
You do it, yeah.
Okay.
You're the one that did all the work for it.
Fair enough.
You just showed up.
So next episode, guys, we are lucky enough. It's been 9 years since we've had him on the show, and we are going to be bringing back Pete Gold, the voice of Hoxton, and he'll be back. He'll be on the show. We'll talk to him, answer any questions, whatever the case may be. So please stick around, or follow us on all our appropriate channels: Seadog, Noli, myself, and yeah.
We'll get him to record some voice lines for his
maybe
interaction wheel.
Perfect.
Maybe. I mean, he did do
like Seadog, you're my favorite. I'll be like, that's just for me.
So he did do like this little fan service thing back in the day where he would record clips. He actually originally made my alerter noises. So I mean, it's possible. You know, he could still do the same thing. You know, you just gotta talk to him.
Nice. I'm excited.
Absolutely. So yeah,
We
anything
don't
else?
have a date yet, though, right?
We
No
don't
set
have
date.
we don't have a date yet, but next episode he will be on.
Let's go.
Yeah. Anything else we want to touch up on? We good?
I don't think so.
Oh no, I think it's cool. We should hang on to some of those topics like stealth and have big sections on in the future.
Absolutely. I think what I'll do, I'll make like a special section in the Discord here for us or for people to post their questions. So do exclamation point Discord in chat and join the Discord if you have any questions, all that good shit. Yeah. Thank you both for being a part of this. I look forward to working with you guys in the future. And yeah, I will catch you guys later.
Thank you for
Sounds
having us
good.
on.
And
Thank you.
absolutely. And thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Vice, Noli, and Sea Dog. Do let us know if there's anything, all that good shit. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.